Did you guys see that the orange buffoon, it's being reported that he will be officially announcing a $12 billion bailout for farmers who have been screwed over because of his tariffs? Now, I don't know the specifics of all of this. It's being reported by the Wall Street Journal, and their article is behind a paywall. It's weird. Sometimes I can read these Wall Street Journal articles, and other times it's behind a paywall. Let me just, quick aside here. I don't understand the business model for a lot of these publications. Okay, I am not going to subscribe. Okay, I use the internet, right? I scan articles all over the place. The same information is going to be other places. Even if your Wall Street Journal or any other publication is the only one with this story, it's going to be picked up and reported on cable news and other places. I'm going to get the information. Okay. I don't need to subscribe to your publication, and I'm not going to. I can't subscribe to a million different friggin' newspapers. And what you do by placing your content behind a paywall is you're guaranteeing that you're not going to be able to get like ad revenue from anyone. You only want subscriptions? Is that what you're doing? I mean, if you allow people to access your content, maybe they'll just love it so much they're going to want a subscription. But even if not, for someone like me, you allow for the opportunity that I might click on a display ad that runs alongside your content. But now there's no chance. I'm not going to see an ad. I'm not going to see anything because you won't let me access the article. But you know what? I'm still going to benefit from your reporting because, as I said, it'll be covered on CNN or MS Now or wherever the fuck. I'm going to and I know because I read the headline. And a lot of times, too, here's the thing. The headline tells me everything I need to know most of the time. You know, I read the headline, I start reading the body of the story, and it's just a bunch of fluff. It's just a bunch of filler. You know, everything I need to know was right there in the headline, which I got anyway. But, you know, I would have spent a little more time on your website, and I would have read the article, been exposed to ads. Maybe I would have clicked on another article that I saw there. But now I can't because you won't even let me see it. All right, end of rant. Back to the $12 billion bailout. Couple things. The most obvious of which is that he is bailing people out because he fucked them over. His policies caused these people to lose business to the point that now they're desperate. And you've seen a lot of these videos, I'm sure, on the news and other places with these farmers, these MAGA farmers who voted for this guy. And of course, not all farmers voted for him, but let's be real. The overwhelming majority of farmers voted for Donald Trump. And they're out there whining and bitching and moaning and complaining that they're getting screwed. I'm going to go bankrupt. Well, maybe you should have thought of that. You think voting's a fucking joke? No, there's real world consequences. And now you're faced with the possibility of losing the family farm that's been in your family for generations. You're going bankrupt. You're going to lose everything. You did this to yourself. I mean, I have no sympathy whatsoever. And you know what? A lot of the people who are getting harmed by the guy you voted for are not going to be getting a bailout. How about the people who are going to lose their health insurance because of this guy? How about the people who are losing their food assistance and other benefits? They're not getting a fucking bailout, but you're getting a bailout. But here's the good news, at least from my perspective. This bailout isn't going to save most of them because, you know, Donald Trump did this the first term where he put these tariffs on. And so take, for example, China, right? And soybeans. China is like the biggest buyer of American soybeans. And when Trump slapped these tariffs on the second time, China said, fuck it, we're done. We're not going to buy soybeans from the United States anymore. And so they didn't. And they went to, where did they go to? They went to Brazil for one. Argentina, who were now sending them money. Now, Trump went with hat in hand begging China, because he's, where's Donald Trump's approval ratings? In the fucking 30s. He's got people who voted for him screaming bloody murder. And so he goes to China begging them to buy American soybeans. And so they agreed. Trump had to give China all kinds of concessions for China to agree to start buying some American soybeans again. But guess what? At a much, they're buying much less than they were before the tariffs. And so Trump comes back and he says that this is, this great deal. We're worse off than before he put in the fucking tariffs. And China got all these concessions from the United States. So the tariffs only helped China. They're still getting their soybeans, right? They're just going to Argentina and Brazil. And now they're buying a little bit of American soybeans, but in return for that, they're getting all kinds of American technology and all kinds of stuff. So, like pretty much every other world leader, Xi Jinping is running circles around the orange fucking buffoon. Oh, anyway, my point is, the good thing here is that these fuckers who voted for Trump and who are now getting a bailout, this is not going to save them. This is a Band-Aid. Because those contracts that they lost because of Trump's tariffs, they're not coming back. Most of them came back after the first time he put tariffs on in his first term. Because a lot of these other countries and companies around the world that imported things, agricultural products from the United States, they thought, well, this isn't going to be forever. This Donald Trump, they're gonna undo these tariffs. Trump isn't going to be around long. This is going to be a temporary blip. And so they didn't cancel everything. Then when Trump did it again, they're like, okay, fuck this. We can't count on the American people. They reelected this guy. They're all for these tariffs. This guy commits a violent insurrection against his own country and they reelect him. We can't trust these people anymore. And we're done being jerked around with these fucking tariffs. We're just going elsewhere. And a lot of these farmers, they've lost contracts, and those contracts aren't coming back because these countries, they've made contracts for agricultural products with other countries now. Now they have new contracts with new suppliers in different countries. And they're not just going to, Trump took the tariffs off. He's doing a taco. I guess we'll go back to America. No. They have contractual relationships now with providers in other countries. And so this bailout for these fucking farmers who voted for this guy, it's not going to save these people. And you know what? The agricultural sector is another example of what is happening across the economy with Donald Trump. And that is the rich are winning, the oligarch class is getting further enriched, and everyone else is getting fucked. Because what's going to happen here? These farmers, this bailout, this isn't going to solve their long-term problem. It's a temporary solution. It might get them by for a little while, but it's not going to save them from bankruptcy. It's not going to save them from losing their farms. Who's going to benefit from that? These huge corporations, these huge agribusiness corporations who are going to come in and snap up these family farms for pennies on the dollar. That's who's going to benefit from this. And it's happening in sector after sector. I was just reading something earlier today about small businesses getting destroyed. Have you heard about all these job losses? We are up now, the job losses in this country, over 1.1 million. The highest level of job loss since the pandemic. And who's getting screwed the hardest? Small businesses. Small business job losses are off the charts. Small businesses going belly up all over the place. And who's going to benefit? Again, the oligarch class, the major corporations. Donald Trump is destroying the middle class. He is destroying small business, all to benefit the oligarchy. So, if anyone who voted for this is getting fucked, good. You voted for this, you deserve to. What pisses me off is all the people who didn't vote for this. Those are the people who have my sympathy. You fuckers who voted for this, none. Absolutely no sympathy for you. In fact, I'm glad to see you suffer. Fuck you. And another thing about this bailout, forgot to mention this. And this goes to the fact that I don't know all the details of this yet. Is this an actual bailout that's happening? Or is this a proposed bailout? Because the obvious question is, where's he getting the fucking money for this? Did Congress okay this? Did Congress appropriate the funds specifically for this? Because if not, this is unconstitutional. And yes, I know, this dude violates the Constitution like it's a bodily function. So just because it's unconstitutional or illegal in some way, doesn't mean he's not going to do it. But you know what? When Democrats take back control of Congress, God willing, in the midterms, hopefully in huge numbers, this should be one of the articles of impeachment. This is the president clearly violating separation of powers if Congress didn't approve this. Because unless they did, this is a clear violation of separation of powers. Presidents have no authority to spend a single penny from the Treasury unless it has been appropriated by Congress. So I'm going to wait to see the specifics. Again, I don't know because they won't let me see the article, but we'll find out. And something tells me, though, that Congress had no role in this and that this is just a lawless criminal. Or, you know what? It could be just Trump is full of shit. You know, he's announcing money that's never going to come. I mean, he's done that before. Did you get your Doge refund checks yet? Or how about, what's the latest one? The tariff surplus check. You get that yet? I mean, we were supposed to get thousands and thousands of dollars. We're not going to see a dime of that, obviously, because he was full of shit. He said this because his poll numbers were tanking, and he's trying to buy support. He's trying to buy support with money that's never actually going to show up. Maybe this bailout is the same thing. He knows it that these farmers are pissed. Maybe he's just promising money that's never going to show up. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching.